Scene script. Have you ever wondered how a lowly street thief became one of the world's most feared drug lords? Picture a young man, born in the late 40s in the small town of Rio Negro, Colombia. His name, Pablo Escobar. Escobar's journey into the criminal underworld began modestly, with small-time smuggling and petty theft. However, with an audacious spirit and unyielding ambition, he quickly escalated his operations into the lucrative world of cocaine trafficking. By the late 70s, he had established the notorious Medellin cartel, an organization that would become synonymous with violence, corruption, and staggering wealth. Imagine a single entity controlling approximately 80% of the global cocaine trade. That was the Medellin cartel under Escobar's ruthless leadership. This wasn't just a business, it was an empire, its influence reaching far beyond the borders of Colombia. The cartel's operations weren't limited to drug trafficking. Money laundering, extortion, and murder were all part and parcel of Escobar's reign. He assembled a formidable network of sicarios, hitmen who carried out his bidding with ruthless efficiency. If you posed a threat to Escobar or his empire, you were a target. It's estimated that he ordered the deaths of thousands during his rule, a chilling testament to his brutal reign. Escobar's rise to power wasn't just marked by brutality but also by cunning and ambition. He sought to extend his influence beyond the criminal underworld, even attempting to enter the political arena. But with power comes attention, and Escobar's activities did not go unnoticed. They drew the eyes of law enforcement agencies both within Colombia and abroad. So how did a man of such humble beginnings build an empire that controlled the majority of the world's cocaine trade? The answer lies in his audacity, his ruthlessness, and his unyielding ambition. He was not just a drug lord, he was a kingpin who ruled with an iron fist. The Medellin cartel, under Escobar, was not just a drug trafficking organization, it was a well-oiled machine of terror. But how does one go from ruling an empire to being cornered on a rooftop? This is the tale of the fall of Pablo Escobar, the infamous Colombian drug lord who once controlled nearly 80% of the world's cocaine trade. The first cracks in Escobar's empire appeared in 1991 when he surrendered to Colombian authorities. But this was no ordinary surrender. It was a calculated move, a deal struck under conditions that allowed him to avoid extradition to the United States. In return, Escobar was to serve his time in a luxurious prison of his own design, a place known as La Catedral. From behind these gilded bars, he continued to pull the strings of his criminal empire unimpeded. However, suspicions of his ongoing criminal activities from within La Catedral began to surface, stirring concern within the Colombian government. The decision was made to move Escobar to a less comfortable facility, a move that did not sit well with the drug lord. Fearing extradition to the United States more than anything else, Escobar made a daring escape, plunging himself into a life on the run. This marked the beginning of a massive manhunt, an intense pursuit involving both Colombian law enforcement and the United States Drug Enforcement Administration. The world watched as the once untouchable Kingpin became the most wanted man in the world. The chase ended on December 2, 1993. Escobar was found dead on a rooftop in Medellin, his hometown. The circumstances of his death remain a topic of debate to this day. Some theories suggest he was executed by authorities during a rooftop firefight. Others claim that Escobar, cornered and outnumbered, chose to take his own life. In the end, Pablo Escobar, the man who once controlled 80% of the world's cocaine trade, met his end on a lonely rooftop in Medellin. The fall of Pablo Escobar serves as a stark reminder of the inevitable fate that awaits those who choose a life of crime and corruption. So what is the legacy of this notorious criminal? The impact of Pablo Escobar's criminal activities reverberates through time, leaving a scar on Colombia and the world. His ruthless reign over the drug trade plunged Colombia into a dark era of violence and corruption from which it still strives to recover. Internationally, the sheer magnitude of his operations reshaped the global perception of the drug trade, bringing it to the forefront of public consciousness. Yet, in a twist of irony, Escobar's life also spawned a cultural fascination. His story of power, wealth, and downfall has been retold in numerous books, documentaries, and television series. These narratives often grapple with the dichotomy of his persona, a brutal drug lord on one hand, and a Robin Hood-like figure to some of his countrymen on the other. Pablo Escobar's life serves as a chilling reminder of the devastating impacts of the drug trade, and the lengths some will go to gain power and wealth.